All right, good morning or afternoon or evening. I just realized I'm out of water. God damn it. Well, what's good is that we're not doing anything with a lot of exertion today. That I can say with confidence. We have a couple more minutes before we start. I'm going over one of my favorite yin books right now to pick and choose a couple of shapes I want to do today. And if you just hopped on, welcome. Feel free to sound off in the chat if you have that ability. Or if not, you can just lurk in the background. Hey, Julia. Hey, friend. I'm okay. And at the same time, I'm not, you know. I just got off the phone with my partner and I angrily cried for a little while. And I was like, perfect. Now I'm gonna go stream. Hi, Heather. Hello. Hello, hello, welcome. Monday is normally our power flow days. But I woke up just knowing and understanding that for me, it was not a power day. And I really wanted some restoration. I think that the fact that we did a sculpt stream yesterday, that probably contributes to it. And then of course, all the news over the weekend, definitely contributing to it. So I just wanted something that was more, a little more loving, a little more of a big, I just want to give myself a big movement hug today. And so I want to keep things super chill, super restorative. And in particular, focus on the legs, focus on the hips, focus on the spine, and re-ground myself a little bit. So I hope that sounds good to y'all. One of my favorite yin books that I like to teach from, it's from Bernie Clark, The Complete Guide to Yin Yoga. One of my favorites. He has such a wonderful approach to movement, and I always try to model some of my inclusivity, at least, or at least my understanding of, I guess, all different body types in movement from some of his books. So everybody is welcome to take this class as you are. Hey, Nicolette, yeah. And I'm never going to, spiritually bypass y'all or try to, pretend like I'm just gonna be this bubble of love and light, because that's unrealistic. And we're humans and we have emotions and we have, there's so much going on. We're also incredibly complex. So today's movement is going to be very intuitive based on where I'm at, and I hope it feels good for y'all too. I also might keep it a little bit shorter than usual. We usually go for an hour. I might go for somewhere around 45 to 50 minutes, depending on how this goes. Nice, we got a good crowd, 11 people, welcome. I'm gonna swap over to my other camera and then I'll go over what I think we'll use for this class. Oh my God, Itzel, I'm so grateful for you. I really am. Well, this looks really fucking cattywampus. Let me fix her right there. Oh, Carly Nouveau movement, thank you. Thank you so much. You know, I'm really lucky that I have the people in my life that tell me like, hey, it's okay if you need to take time off, if you need to do things a certain way, and they give me full permission to feel. And as much as I would love to take some time off, which I am going to be doing this week anyways, something that really fills me with a lot of joy is all of you. And teaching gives me a sense of purpose and shows me that I'm doing something and I'm creating space for people and that this is a place for healing. Yeah. Oh my God. I'm seeing all your messages and I'm like, I'm gonna cry right now. Oh, I appreciate you guys so much. I told myself I wasn't gonna cry on stream, but here I am. When I don't know what to do, I usually rely on my old reliables, which is moving around a little bit, being with the people that I love, and crying. Yay, Samantha! Yeah, crying post is very important, Jessica. I agree, Holly. So here's what we'll do. To assist us through this class today, blocks and a strap can be super helpful. Oh, Sharon, thank you, baby. Thank you, my love. I've got my blocks. I wanted to do like some super supportive shapes in the very beginning. And one in particular that uses a strap. If you don't have a strap, I'm gonna give you a version with the blocks, and if you don't have the blocks, then you're gonna have an awesome version of this shape anyways. I realize what looks off is like my mat's off center. Okay, that looks better. Oh my God, Heather, thank you. Y'all, I'm a mess already. You ever like do your makeup, but you know, like you understand later, you're like, I'm gonna cry and I'm gonna nervous sweat, and but you do it anyways. Yeah, so here we are. We're crying off our concealer. Okay. So if you have one of these fancy straps that has a D-ring, cool. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna pop it through the double rings and bring it back through on the other side. So it creates a lock, yeah? Again, if you don't have this, it's not necessary. We can essentially create a semi-similar supportive situation with our block. So I'm gonna show you how this is gonna go. We're gonna go into a badakanasana, a reclining version of it. So badakanasana, or your butterfly, maybe you've heard it called that before too. But this one is strap supported. So essentially you'll lay down, or you can even do this from seated, and you're gonna take this loop you just made, and you're gonna pop it over your legs just like that. So it comes down into your hip creases, down into your ankles. And as you open the legs, it's going to create this kind of little ring and support. Now you may have set it up where you need like a little more tightness, a little more tension. We're literally doing some bondage here together with our strap, yeah? Now say you don't have this whole strap situation with the loops, you can create a somewhat similar supportive situation with your blocks, just placing them underneath your knees, yeah? Hey, if you have all of these props, you may even wanna prop yourself up on some blocks and do this. Oh man, that is the shit right there. I think I just yelled into the microphone, sorry. So again, we're all gonna start in some semblance of a badakanasana. So whether you have all the props or none of the props, I just want to invite you back into your body. Because something that happens to me when it feels like everything is on fire, I kind of extrapolate out so far from myself. And I have to rein myself back in a little bit. So all I want you to pay attention to in this moment is your breath. Not only do I want you to try to deepen that breath, but I want you to listen to it. Maybe you even physically connect with it by bringing a hand to your heart, maybe a hand to your tummy, or both hands on your heart, both hands on your tummy. And if you have that strap or those blocks, notice if you're resisting feeling supported by those things. Try to let go into those supportive places. And we'll spend 10 more breaths here. All right, no matter where your arms are, if they're up above your head or out by your side or on your body, we'll take them down by our side, and we're gonna collect the legs, bringing them in. If you got this little loop, let's pop it off. Just place it off to the side, and if you ended up on blocks like me, we'll take them out from underneath you, and we'll make our way all the way down onto our back. Wow, I am covered in cat hair. Like an extraordinary amount. All right, and once you make it down onto your back, we'll use this strap. We'll loop it around our foot. I want you to still keep that loop if you've got it. and extend it straight up to the sky. Your left leg can stay bent. If you're feeling super tight in your legs, it's all good. I'm gonna work the little metal part away from me because it's not the most comfortable to grab onto. All right, let's go through a couple of flex and points with this right leg. Maybe you want to do some full circles with your ankle. In one direction and the other. All right, now we'll meet with our foot in a flex, and we're going to do something I like to call walk the dog. So I want you to kind of karate chop your right leg away from you, and when you're all out of space, like your arm is all the way extended out, the leg is extended out, let's take it out to the side and back up again, yeah? Down and around. Now, if it feels really difficult to center your weight, one of my little tricks, bend into your left leg, open it out to the side, and it'll act kind of like a counterbalance, yeah? Down, out and around. That's it, easy peasy, walk your dogs. And then the next time you walk your dog out to the side, let's keep it there. You can choke up on your strap. You can also wrap around it and hold it out to the side. Now, if you externally rotate this left leg just like I did, why not keep it there? To me, it actually helps me stay a lot more centered and grounded when I take my limbs away from the midline. All right, let's take our legs all the way back to center. We'll close up this left leg again, and we're gonna go for just one more round of a hamstring stretch with a weird thing you can do with your strap, yeah? Now, if you were digging it, you were having a time here, awesome. One thing that you can do with a looped strap though, you'll need to loosen it up a lot though, depending on how your hamstring mobility is. But we're essentially going to create a little sling at the back or the nape of your neck here. So you'll just lift, place your head in it, and lean back. I like to kind of put it like above my ears. That feels a lot better for me. But if your legs are like, girl, they don't come that close to my face. It's really all good. You can stay in your normal hamstring stretch. Mama TL's just I've got these weird detachable hips. Just kidding, I wish I did. All right, my little loop-de-doos. If you've got this whole like head contraption thing going on, we'll lift our head, take it on out of there. And then we're gonna take this all the way into a twist. We're not gonna do your IT band stretch like I normally do. Take the leg all the way over towards the left, keeping it as extended as you want. You can bring a micro bend if you need, and then reach the right arm out to the side. If you can easily grab your foot, go for it, grab your foot. Nobody's stopping you. And we'll work our way out of this twist. Gotta use your core a little bit to do it. And then we'll open up our loop. We'll replace left foot in, right foot out. Great, and we're back to the top. So keeping this left leg extended, right knee can stay bent where it's at, all good. And we just went through our flex and points. To me, doing movement has always been how I explore myself, my own boundaries, and improve my relationship with myself. And I really like exploring within shapes and seeing how these micro adjustments can help me understand how the shape feels in my body a little bit more. So maybe as you point, as you flex, you find something that maybe you didn't realize before, how it helps you maybe access a little more depth, a little more space. In 5 seconds, we're gonna start walking dogs. So I'm just gonna get it ready, stick it in my left hand. And we'll start with our chop downwards. Out and around, and back up. Now, if on the other side you quickly realize, wow, I need a little support there, you can bring your right leg into a bend, open it out to the side. Yeah, to me it helps. Oh man, my hips are real poppy today. All right, the next time you take it out to the side, let's keep it there, shall we? You can choke up on your strap if you're using it. I'm sorry, my stomach is rumbling. I've got all this good audio equipment, and it's a little too good sometimes. You can hear everything. I haven't recorded a sound bath in a long time, but maybe that's what I'll do this week. I keep getting into these bad habits of recording sound baths when my stomach is almost rumbly, and there's been a few recordings I've had to trash because I'm like, yeah, that's not going to be a relaxing sound for everybody to hear. All right, let's take everything back to center. I'm done regaling you with tales. Same thing, we're going to do our little secondary hamstring stretch. I feel like it's always so good to come back to something, right? Give it another go. And if you just hang out here, did your thing, cool. If you tried the head strap, let's try it again. Let me get my mess of hair out of here. And again, I like to put it right above my ears. That way I don't feel like it's like forcing cervical curvature that isn't natural, if that makes sense. So if it was like under my ears and it would kind of jut my jaw forwards, I feel like when it's here, everything's good. I'm maintaining my spinal length. All right, we got 3 more breaths here, my darlings. Even though I would like to spend 35 more breaths here, that would be great, but for the interest of time, let's start to bring ourselves out. So take yourself out of the headgear. Whee! My hair is getting so long. All right, and we'll take ourselves into a twist. We're bringing the leg all the way over. The strap is here to help. The strap is just your go-go gadget arms helping you out. Okay, let's use your core. Bring yourself back up. Ugh. We'll ditch the strap for good, maybe. Maybe it'll come in handy later. And we'll hug both of your knees in. Rock a little bit side to side, massaging out your low back. And then we'll change these rocks side to side into up and down rocks. But if up and down rocks aren't vibing with you, it's all good, because we're just trying to find a way to get up to our seat, which you can do any old way you like. Great. And once you make it up to your butt, I want you to sit up comfortably, cross-legged. If your hips feel super tight, one of my favorite tricks is to prop up my butt, either with a block or with a pillow, something. And if you notice, it takes a lot of flexion out of your hip flexors, which might help you sit up a little bit taller. So let's do that. Let's sit up nice and tall. Relax the shoulder blades down our back, and then slightly lower the chin towards the chest. One more breath in here. One more breath out. We'll take our right arm up towards the ceiling. And then I want you to bend your elbow, placing your hand either right behind your head or right at the base of your cervical spine. Take your left arm out to the side, internally rotate it and bend the elbow, resting it at your low back. Great. See if this left hand can actually crawl up maybe a little bit closer to your right. And if the option is there, I want you to go for your cow facing grip or Gomukhasana grip. Now this would be a moment, if you're like, my hands don't touch, where you can bring the strap back in and use that to bring it a little bit closer. I've also used my own hair. I'll just braid it up and then climb the hair. So really big shoulder opener here. We've got internal rotation happening on the left. One more breath in. And breath out. Great, if you've got the grip, release it. If you're holding the strap, release it. And we'll come all the way back to the beginning. It's always natural to feel a little bit of tingling after some intense stretching like that. And we'll aim to balance it out by doing the other side. We'll reach up your left arm and we'll bend the elbow. Feeling your palm work towards the back of your head, the back of your neck, or even the base where the cervical spine and where the thoracic are trying to meet. We'll take your right hand, bring it behind you, internally rotate, and again, trying to go for that Gomukhasana. Now this is a very easy shape for me to get on my other side, but because of some old shoulder injuries on my right, it is much more difficult for me to get on this side. So know that it's very normal to feel uneven from side to side. Great, last breath here. And then we'll release. Yep. Man, that shoulder. Always do contortion classes with a lot of caution. Cautionary tale. Don't let people push you too hard in cat stretches. All right, we're gonna make our way onto all fours, tabletop, and we'll do a little more flow. night. So once you're onto your fours, we'll work through your cat-cows. We'll reach your heart space forward with a breath in. And exhales out with your cat back. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, cat back. Keep going through these on your own. And y'all know I like to always invite other movement. Rolling through the ribs, swiveling through the hips. Maybe you want to do your lateral cat-cows. Think of the way a shark swims through water, going from side to side. Great, just like that. 3 more breaths here. And once you finish off that last one, let's take ourselves into a diagonal puppy pose stretch, or anahatasana. So once you're back on all fours, left hand walks a little bit out to the side. I know I've taught this one with you guys. Your right hand is gonna reach like a knife edge out to the left. Keep sliding that arm, and as you start to go down, you should feel a big stretch in your lat, maybe even in like the posterior deltoid area. You can even feel this all the way into your ribs sometimes, or down towards the hips. Okay, let's bring you back up. And we'll do the same exact thing to the other side. So right hand walks out just a bit. Left hand is gonna slice like a knife all the way towards that corner. And we'll take ourselves back up onto all fours. We'll tuck our toes and push back into a down dog. Now, once you're in your down dog, I want you to intuitively move. Whether that's pedaling out through your legs, swiveling your hip side to side. Yeah, shaking out your head no. Shaking it a little yes. Oh, Julia, you don't have to worry about your questions, my love. I love you. I know you wrote that a while ago, but I'm responding to it now. All right, and then I want you to settle, if you can, into a still downward facing dog. Now imagine once you're in this shape that you're able to corset the ribs together. Lengthen through the tailbone, even if it means you bend your knees a little bit. And then strengthen through the shoulders, feeling like they're peeling away from the ears and wrapping around towards the front of your body. Great. From there, we'll lift your heels. We'll bend your knees nice and deep, look to the front, and we're gonna step into a standing forward fold, or in yin, they call it just dangling. Now in this dangling position, there are a lot of possibilities. You can just hook your thumbs into your elbow creases and sway side to side. You can just let your arms hang. You can grab for your toes. Or you can do a shape called badakanasana, or hands to feet pose. Palms of the hands will slide underneath your feet. And you can walk your toes all the way up into your wrist creases. Of course, this is a pretty advanced shape. So this doesn't have to be accessible to everyone in this moment. If you've got the hands to feet pose or the badakanasana, one thing I like to do is bend my elbows out to the side and draw my chest a little bit closer towards my knees. One more breath in. Breath out. Now we'll lengthen ourselves out like we're in a halfway lift. If you have the hands under your feet, obviously you gotta take them out for that. And then we'll heel toe our feet wider. We're gonna pop them into external rotation. We'll bend our knees and work our way down into a squat. Elbows can work into your inner thighs. We'll eventually want to kind of work into this more upright shape. This is where our hips really get the benefit. Another little trick you can use with the blocks, you can stack them up to prop you up if holding yourself in this shape is difficult. Yeah, you can even Tetris your way up as long as you kind of get it to a safe height for you so you don't feel like you'll fall down. Last breath in here. And last breath out. Now we'll take our hands down to the ground. You're already in this wide set position. We're gonna keep our toes where they're at, but we'll lift our hips and shift our feet into parallel. So your feet maybe are kind of riding the edge of your mat. We'll keep them there. Hands will come to the ground. I want you to step your left foot behind you so that you land in a really big lunge. Now in yin, you'll hear these called dragons. And dragons are a really amazing way to open up your hips, but they can also be really tricky and painful for that back knee. So if that's you, maybe rolling up your mat halfway helps. Or if you have blocks, you can take a block underneath your quad. That way it just kind of gives it a little bit of a lift. And remember that these blocks can be oriented in any way to give you any semblance of lift that you need. Something to try within this dragon shape. Rolling to the outer edge of your right foot and winging your dragons. If you feel really comfortable, you can also take a forearm down. You can take both down. And the final piece of this little lungy quaddy puzzle will be a quad stretch should you choose to take it. So I like to always start this from my hands and then work down if necessary, because it's really not always necessary. See if bending your left leg is even something you want to do today, because sometimes it's just not. Yeah, but if you're feeling like, okay, I can do this, I like to reach back with my right hand. So opposite hand to foot, outer edge. Or you can even reach for the inner edge and internally rotate your shoulder if external rotation is troublesome. I'm gonna make my block a little bit wider so I got a safer base for this one. The quads are brutal. One more breath. And we'll release this foot. If there's a block underneath you, remove it. And then I want you to kind of lift yourself up a little bit and heel toe this right foot back to center. We'll take a hamstring stretch, lengthening out through your right leg. This is your Ardha Hanumanasana or half split. But one thing I like to do is sometimes I like to sit all the way back onto my heel and fully recline towards my leg. Yeah? But if this is a no-go for you, you can totally stick with the other option. All right, wherever you are, let's bring this right leg back into a bent position. And you're gonna continue that heel-toe journey with that foot now all the way over towards the left-hand side. We're gonna go into half pigeon. So I'm gonna tuck my back toe and lift my leg and then slide my foot a little bit further down because that feels the most comfortable for my hip. Placing your right leg into a perfect 90-degree angle is not anatomically feasible for everybody. So instead of having this, unrealistic fantasy of having, super shallow hip joints and really short femur heads, just meet yourself where you're at today. And if you do feel like you need to deepen, just like I did in this moment, I like to anchor my foot down and then scoop backwards with my whole body so that I'm not doing anything weird on my knees, yeah? And you can stay lifted in this half pigeon if you want, or walk yourself down to your forearms. It's been a really long time since I practiced this one. Oof. We'll go for 3 more breaths. All right, to bring ourselves out, we'll walk ourselves up to our hands, tuck back toe, lift back knee. And you can slide this right leg back and counter it with a down dog, counter it with a 3-legged, a hip opener, any little thing your heart desires. But if we're ready to head to the other side, we'll just step your left foot forwards. I know we went into it from a malasana, but whatever, I'm breaking rules today. Okay. So totally normal, again, to have very different experiences from side to side. This is gonna be our last big shapes, and then we'll call it a day for class. Use whatever tools you did on the other side here if you need them. So it can be hands on the ground, forearms on the ground, rolled up mat under your knee, block underneath your knee. One of the first variations that we took in this one in particular was the wing. So we rolled to the outside edge of our left foot. And from there I went a little bit deeper. All right, and then we started to introduce the idea of a quad stretch in here. If you didn't do it, no worries, don't do it here. Right leg bend. See if your knee feels okay with that. It can stay on the block. Left hand will grab back for it. If the internal rotation and inner arch grab is what you got today, okay. But I like to roll it to external and grab for the outside edge so that I also get the anterior deltoid and pec stretch with it. All right, let's slowly let that go. Take the wing out of the leg. Remove the block. Knee's gonna come down. We'll heel toe your left foot towards center, and we'll go into whichever hamstring stretch you did on the other side. So either your Ardha Hanumanasana or half split, or if you tried that grounded version where you worked back, lots of flexion on the knee. You're kind of sitting on your right heel. I like this one. There's something very, very grounding about it. And we'll start to work ourselves back forwards. And we'll continue heel toeing this left foot over towards the right to go back into your pigeon. Same entry as before. I like to tuck my right toes, lift my knee, slide my left foot where it feels the most comfortable, and then squeakily move back into place. Again, if you feel or felt the need for more depth, pressing on the left foot to anchor it as you move the body backwards. And we can rest. Taking the forearms down if you haven't already. Last couple of breaths here. And if you're ready, we can walk ourselves up, tuck our toes, Taking the same counter shape that you did before. Maybe you worked down dog, maybe you went to three-legged, opened up the hip. And we'll meet back in down dog to take one last round of 5 breaths here. All right, let's take our knees down to the ground. Have a seat on your heels for a moment. Woo. And we're gonna finish off with a round of heroes. Car. Now, heroes asks you if you can sit comfortably or semi-comfortably between your heels. If this is almost accessible for you, but not quite, see if sitting on a block helps. It takes a little bit of that passive flexion in the knees to a more doable level. Now, we want our knees to work kind of towards each other, but they can also be hip-width distance apart. That's totally fine. I notice it helps if my calf flesh kind of gets pushed to the outside, and then ensuring that I can see the bottoms of my feet and just making sure that the tops of my feet are on the ground. From here, you can stay seated if you feel it, or you can start to walk yourself back. If you're on a block, I like to say that this is going to be your max here. If you don't feel it, but you need a little more, you can lengthen the tailbone down. If you're not on a block, you can go as far as forearms on the ground, but if you start to go deeper and your knees start to levitate, then you've gone a little too far. Go as far as you can so long as the knees can stay on the ground, yeah? You can even go shoulders all the way down to the ground. Only staying for 3 more breaths. Great, let's bring you out of this so you can walk yourself back up, especially if you're on a block. If you're here on the ground and you feel like you can pull the knees up and just go into a hug, that's one of my favorite ways to get out of it. And then we'll eventually all make our way down onto our backs like so. And we're gonna finish off with a shape. My friend Heather calls it dead bug. We're gonna become dead bugs. Very loosely, without a lot of like intention or length or point. I just want you to reach your limbs up towards the sky. Feel just like you're levitating, hovering. And then you can slowly bring the limbs back in towards you. Landing in a safe little ball. And then I want you to find one final shape that you like. Maybe the same shape that we began in, a badakanasana. Or lengthening your legs and arms all the way out into a big X. Whatever your choice is, find yourself in it. See if you can relax your jaw a little bit more. If your tongue is pressed against the roof of your mouth, see if it can rest in your jaw. Trust that the floor is holding you, supporting you, and give your muscles full permission to melt. Let your next breath get a little bit deeper. Rock your head a little side to side. And I want you to reach yourself into a big X shape. Take up space. Take up all the space. Stretch yourself out, tense your muscles, big breath in. And then bring everything back in close to you, bringing yourself into another little ball. You can roll off to one side. Use your right arm to push yourself up. And then thank yourself for carving out this time in your morning, your afternoon, your evening, wherever you are in the world. Friends, thank you so much. Thank you, Holly. Thank you, Catherine. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Ariana. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Samantha. It really was Ashley, huh? I appreciate you so much. Thank you, Heather. Yeah, same. Oh, Ariana, me too. Thank you, Lacey. Now it's even more important after this to continue, take this feeling with you, know that it's accessible because you created it. You are the sole creator of this moment inside you. And I want you to nourish that little space, rest, feed yourself, drink enough water. Thank you, Itzel. Yay, Nicolette, yes. Thank you, Destiny. Yeah, let me know if y'all want to do more of these restorative classes, because I think, it's always good to shift and to change and to catch everybody's energy. And so I think it would be good to do a lot more of these. Yes, Jessica. Yes, Holly. Yeah, listening to your nervous system is so incredibly important. Stress hormones are nothing to fuck with. Cortisol through the roof. Yes. And I mean, think of it this way. It's like your stress response, your fight, your flight, your freeze, you know, those are things that were developed in us as survival mechanisms, but we're not supposed to be in those states all the time. So it's important to find ways to kind of hack your nervous system a little bit, bring yourself more into your parasympathetic, your rest and your digest. I know that's easier said than done, but hopefully this can be a good tool for you to utilize to get more into that space as much as possible. Oh, Ariana, you're so welcome. Thank you, Julia. Yeah, so the rest of this week, I'm supposed to go on a trip. It's my husband's birthday this week. Hooray! Happy birthday, Kumar. I might shift those plans a little bit, but I'm definitely going to take the rest of the week off for me. I'm just going to practice what I preach. So we will be back next Monday to teach class. So on the 4th, I will be teaching. I'll see what I feel like teaching then. I'm going to just be a little more intuitive about what I need right now. I think it's important to do that. I'm still sweaty. I don't know how. Woo. Yes. Thank you, Ashley. It means so much. All right, you beautiful creatures. Thank you for making this stream so worth it. I was really on the fence about doing it, but then said, you know what? I just need to change the topic. I just need to change the focus. So thank you all for making this such an awesome stream. It really, 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 really means a lot. So I hope you have a decent rest of your day. Thank you for being the highlight of mine today. Yeah, it's true, Julia. It is hard. So I'm here for y'all. Even if I'm away, you can always reach out to me through my email, TracyLynnMovement@gmail, or through TracyLynnWithLove on IG. I'm here for you. Because when I get to help you, I really do feel like I help myself. So I'll see you guys next Monday. I will email you and, share that information. But I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. Take care of y'all, okay? Yes. Yes, polyvagal theory. Yes, the polyvagus. Thank you. Much love to you all. I'll see you next time.